last 12 months, I've jumped from 15,000 followers to over 75,000 followers. And if I'd lost everything, and I mean everything, my barbering business, my clients, my followers, I'm going to show you the exact process I would take to get it all back so that you have no excuse as to why you don't have a fully fledged profitable barbering business. And I'm going to show you exactly how you can earn your first 5K a month, changing that mindset and showing you how simple it really is. In this video, there's going to be no bullshit. It just shows you the exact system that I would take to rebuild everything that I've got so far so that you can implement it to your business right now. With that being said, make sure to grab yourself a pen, grab a notepad, take notes, and let's jump into the video. Okay, so like I said, this video is all about taking you from where you are right now, whatever stage you're at, whether you have no followers, no business, no clients, whatever, and we're going to show you the exact roadmap so you can start generating thousands of followers, thousands of views, fully booked schedules, and 10x your business so that you can actually diversify your income and start bringing in some income streams online, because it's really not as hard as what you think. And how are we going to do this? There's a simple 5-step process which I've broken down. This would be the exact framework and the steps that I would follow to get my business up and running and then start diversifying my income within the next 12 months so that you can start earning some money online. Let's break down step 1, which is all about recognizing and identifying, okay? What I would do, first of all, I'd make sure to recognize. And when I say recognize, I just mean we need to identify who the leaders of our niche are. Let me just make this a little bit bigger because it won't let me zoom in anymore, and move that over here. So the leaders in the barbering niche at the moment right now are Cam the Barber, Alexi Michael, and Sam Rascal. So what I would do if I wanted to start creating content that attracts people, I would first by identifying these top 3 artists or content creators, whatever you want to call them, and then I would identify why their content is already flying. So now that we've identified the top 3, top 2 creators in our niche, what we need to do is make sure that we're following these guys because their content is obviously working. We want to make sure that they have a high number of followers. We want to make sure that their content is bringing in some strong views. And then what I would do once we've identified these top performers, I would simply come over to an app like SortFeed. You can download it on Google Chrome as an extension. And what I would then do is use this to identify their top performing content, not just based on views, but on real engagement, like likes, comments, and saves and shares. This gives you a clear idea of what actually resonating with your audience so that you can spot a pattern and understand what's working and build your own content strategy around proven content. What I love about SortFeed is it's super simple. All you have to do is simply go onto an Instagram profile, click the extension, and then you want to select within the latest 1,000 posts, 500 posts, their top performing content, and you can choose whether that's on likes, comments, saves, or shares, and it does all the hard work for you. Once we have this, what we want to do is make sure that we're paying attention to their angles, captions, hooks, and the overall style. The goal here is not to copy, but to understand why it's working and why it's connecting. So we want to make sure that we're not imitating what they're doing. We're taking its inspiration and actually studying what's working, because we need to understand that there's a reason why their content is working. It's doing the numbers, so we need to imitate that into our own style. So we've gone through, we've identified the top performing content. We've used SortFeed to pull out their content. Simply now, what we'd then do is then create a folder and save their top 5 posts from each creator. That's 75 proven pieces of content into a folder at your fingertips. What I would then do, again, is make sure to look closely at the captions, hooks, and editing styles, because we want to hone in on everything they're doing. We want to be like a sponge, okay? We're going to take in all the information. We're going to pinpoint why their content is doing so well. So why is their hook so strong? Are they drawing people in by relating to people? Are they using a shocking hook? We want to understand every single piece of detail about their content. By this stage, you're going to be so indulged in what they're doing that you won't think about anything else, okay? But what we want to do, and I really want to make it really important, is we're not here to completely copy them or imitate them. We're taking it as inspiration, okay? Use their content as inspiration to spark ideas, own content styles. So we've gone over recognize, we've identified that these are the top performing content, all right? Let me just make that smaller again. They're the top performing content. Now, what we need to do is actually leverage. This is step 2, leveraging our own resources. I've actually gone over this in another video on more detail, so I'll make sure to link that above so you can watch that, all about getting fully booked. So what we need to do, okay, is to leverage our own resources. This is all about losing our pride, all right? It's super important that We remember we're building a business. So at this point, we do not care. We're trying to do anything we can to help our business. So what we want to do is lose the pride, pick up your phone and start messaging all of your contacts on your contact list, okay? Simply message 20, 30, 40, 50. It doesn't matter. Message as many as possible. And then what we're going to do is make sure we're messaging them going, hey, I would love to give you a free haircut in exchange for a piece of content. Why are we doing that? Because their payment right now is their content. That's giving you your payment. The reason being because we can share that, we can tag them, we can collaborate them, and then we can use their network to then get more clients coming in. So it's really, really important to leverage our own resources. That's super, super key. This is the thing that you have at the moment. At the moment, you don't have followers, you don't have clients, and you don't have a platform. So we want to leverage our friends, our family to get content so that we can start pushing out and start building that content. So now that we've understood what we need to identify, we've leveraged our own resources, okay? Now we need to understand and apply. This is where we want to rework and reach potential clients. So what we're going to do here, we're going to identify proven content from here, okay? We're going to take that content, and then what we're going to do is use that folder and identify why it's working, what we need to do to change it, and then put it in your own spinner thing. I would pair this with the Content Accelerator course, because the Content Accelerator course is an all-in-one place for barbers to learn how to create, edit, and post. It's a course that I've built, and I've put all of my knowledge of me creating content over the past 5 years into a simple course so that you can take away mountains of information within the space and time frame of an hour. It goes into so much detail, and you can simply take this course and apply what you learn in that course and change the trajectory of your business within the matter of days. So what we would do then, if we just recap, we now understand how to create content. We know where to take our content from. All we simply need to do is actually just start creating the content. But this is really, really important because it's a hard thing that people do not do, right? It's consistency. Consistency is the aim of the game right now. Consistency is a thing that's going to stop you from your business propelling and stop you from your business falling. What we're going to aim to do, right, is post a minimum of 3 times a week. 3 times a week is not hard. I tell all of my students that you need to be posting 3 times a week so that we can start gaining some traction. When you're sitting there thinking, okay, I'll just post once a week, I'm sorry, but that just isn't enough. And that isn't going to grow your business, and you're just being lazy. It's no excuse as to why you can't be posting a minimum of 3 times a week. But what content are we going to be posting? What we're going to want to do is, once we find our niche and once we find what's working, we're going to be posting 80% of the viral content that's bringing in the big traffic. So for you, that could be your process videos, your consultation videos. However, it could be you simply just doing behind the scenes. Whatever your content is bringing in the most traffic, we're going to focus on sharing 80% of that content. Why? Because that is going to grow our audience. And right now we need the number in masses. So we're going to post 80%, and then with the remaining 20%, this is when you're going to experiment. This is when you're going to try new content formats. You're going to try new style of videos. You're even going to try talking head videos. Whatever it may be, this is something that you find passionate. The reason why we're going to do this is because the old way of building a barbering business is simply working in a shop, working to walk-ins, and trying to build up clientele through word of mouth and just through time. Problem with that is it takes forever. It takes so long to build a clientele based off just relying on local footfall, local community can take a lot longer. However, the new era of barbering, which is the constant moving puzzle piece now, is all about content. Why content is so important as a barber, and there's been no better time to get into it, is because content allows you to reach so many more people. It takes your local skill and turns it into a global impact. And that's all due down to content and the power of it. For example, when would you be able to reach 3 million people, 2.3 million people, and 4.7 million people simply just off your phone if you're doing it the old school way, we're just working in a shop? It's just not going to happen. You're never going to reach that many people. Granted, you might get a strong name in the local area, but if you want to really scale, have clients, and learn how to build a business outside the chair, you need to hone in on content. And it's really not that difficult. When you pair it with things like Content Accelerator course, there's no excuse as to why you can't do things, because there's education at your fingertips. The course is like the Content Accelerator for £59. You really can't go wrong. It's simple, it's easy to follow, and it's actionable steps. Now we've understood what content we need to make by identifying the top content creators. We've then sorted it out into sort feed, created a folder of viral content that we can always go back to. Now understood what content we need to do, we need to leverage our own resources by getting people in the chair so we can actually start creating our content. What we're going to do is start filming that, using our research, using education so that we actually know how to create content that attracts. And then we're going to post a minimum of 3 times a week. And the reason being because we need to attract potential customers from all over, rather than just waiting in the barbershop hoping that it goes well. And what I would do is then over the next 3 to 6 months, continue to refine this strategy, continue posting, look at your analytics, and then tweak what works, okay? We need to make sure that we hone in on what's working and disregard what's not. But once you've understood all of that and we've got a proper dialed in system and a content flowing, within the next 3 months, I would then research how to turn your business online. And this is all about diversifying your income. It's super, super important. And this is why all the top creators are doing it, like Alexi Michael and Sam Rascal. So what I would do is now start investing time into building my knowledge. I'd learn how to identify my income. All the leaders in the barbering industry are doing it. So the real question is, why aren't you? So we can have a look here. Alexi Michael is doing the school community, the Learn to Cut arena. Same with Sam Rascals, the Rascals Education School community. Why? Because they have seen the bigger picture. They've seen that their social media isn't just something that they want to get more views and just post viral videos. Instead, they see it as a business, so you need to do the same. But the only problem is they have a shit ton of followers, okay? But don't worry, because you can do the same thing and you don't need followers. You don't need to have hundreds of thousands of followers to start earning a lot of money online. The reason why these school communities work is because Alexi Michael has 250,000 followers and Sam has 1.2 million. So they can rely on masses to generate income. But it's super, super important that you understand that you need to diversify your income as a barber. Nowadays, a lot of people who are in the barbering industry are self-employed. This is something that I really, really wanted to build, was an online business, so that when I go on holiday, I have the opportunity to actually earn money online, because I was sick and tired of going away and not earning any money. And I want you to be able to do the same. And this is why we need to learn how to diversify our income and earn some money online. But how do you do that? Digital products. This is what we need to be honing in on. The reason why we're choosing digital products is because it's a way to easily diversify your income. It's 100% profit and it is an absolute game changer. But school is the wrong way to go, okay? School is not the move. And I get it. I know why you want to do that, because it's low monthly payments and you think, right, it's low payments, people have got to join. But sadly, that is not the case. This works well for Alexi Michael and Sam Rascal because they're relying on masses, like I previously mentioned. But just because it's affordable doesn't mean it converts. Relying on low ticket, low commitment models early can actually hold you back, because you're relying that people will see your product, but you haven't got any substance to sell that product because you haven't got the millions of followers that is required. So what you need to build instead is you need to have 3 digital products. You need to have a high ticket, mid ticket, and a low ticket. And the benefits of doing high ticket is because 1, you don't need to sell as many. You simply need to sell 1 high ticket coaching offer to make the same amount of money as 100 subscriptions of low ticket school communities. The reason 2 as to why high ticket is so much better is because people see you as the leader because you're charging a premium. Subconsciously, people think more money equals better, and because you don't need to rely on mass followers to sell it. And then we're gonna have a mid-ticket offer, okay? This allows you to create an offer that's able for people to purchase and get the information straight away. And this solves a great purpose because it allows people to see the way that you teach. They can see your mechanisms, your thought processes, so they can get a vague idea of what your coaching offer will entail. But what I would do with your content now, we've understood how to create content up here. We know how to create it. We know how to create it for our barbering business. Now we just need to shift our transition. We're not now going to shift all of our content to simply trying to sell to people all the time, because no one likes someone to push them the wrong way and just be pushy and salesy. Instead, what we're going to do with our content push is we're going to post 60% hair, because that is our viral content and that's what our core foundation is. That's how we're going to keep growing our audience, and our profile is going to grow. But then we're going to push 40% authority content so that we can actually start to push people towards our digital products, start earning some money. But again, we don't want to be pushing this all the time. People got into you in the first place because they've seen your hair content. They've seen the way that you like to do things, but now they want to get a piece of that pie, learn how you do things, and actually understand your content systems. Now we have our offer made out. We've built out our high ticket service. We've built out our mid tickets. We're now pushing the content to sell things over the next 3 to 6 months. So the first 3 to 6 months, we're honing in on the content, building our profile. And then the second half of the 12 months, we're now building our digital products. We're diversifying our income, and we need to systemize. It's super, super important that we create a content ecosystem. We need to know how to make our content work in harmony. We need to know that we're pushing content in a certain direction to drive a certain action. I have got a video, my previous video I created is all about creating a content ecosystem and how it works. I'll make sure to link that above so you can watch that. Let's just cover what we've gone over. So that's exactly how I would leverage my content so that I could start driving traffic towards my barbering business, grow followers, and actually learn how to diversify your income. So what we need to do is recognize the content that's working, leverage our own resources by messaging people on our contact list in exchange for a piece of content that is their payment. Then we understand how to apply and create our own content and then start to rebuild and reach, all right? Using the new era, we're going to start filming everything because it gives you that opportunity to turn your local skills into a global impact, making sure to stay consistent with 3 times posts a week because it's super, super vital to stay consistent. We've now covered that for the first 3 to 6 months. We're now going to come over and start indulging ourselves in understanding online businesses, understanding digital products, learning how to diversify because we need to see our Instagram as a business, not just a platform to get views. We're simply going to create a high ticket offer, low ticket offer so that we don't have to rely on mass followers. We can start selling straight away and building a strong income. We're going to push 60% of our hair content, 40% authority content so we can start building those lead generations to start selling your digital products. And then over the next final 3 months, we're then going to systemize the whole process so that everything is automated. Sounds a little bit confusing, but if you are a barber that wants to learn exactly how to create content systems like this so that you can start driving traffic to your booking link, start growing your followers, position yourself as authority, and start creating content that actually attracts clients, well, then you're on the right track. Because I actually work one-on-one with barbers, helping you build these exact systems. I show you exactly how to create content that converts. I show you how to build a proven roadmap so that you can start generating an extra 10K a month in the next 90 days. But the only problem is a lot of you watching this video won't actually take action. You can continue to say that you're going to take action, but you don't actually take action. Or you continue learning from these YouTube channels because I drop weekly gems on this YouTube channel, pretty much giving you every single resource so that you can start scaling your barbering business. Or if you're an action taker and you want to work one-on-one with me, simply DM me on Instagram the word profit and I'll be more than happy to send you the more information. Or you can click the link down below, get yourself booked in for a discovery call where we can start planning out your 90-day roadmap and start building that business outside the chair so that you can start getting paid on holiday. But for now, I'll see you soon. Peace.